The New Orleans Pelicans 2026 draft class, I have mixed feelings about. Now, I know this is very late compared to, it's already been done, all right? The draft has been over. But I just decided I need to talk about it because I have some opinions on it. And I'm pretty high on 2 and 3 of the picks. One of them I'm not very high on. Let's just get into it. So Jeremiah Fears, I like the pick. It's a very solid. I think that was probably your best available player left at the time. I don't mind that. Yes, he may struggle with playing time early. And I think he definitely has to get more consistent in how he scores. But that's almost every young guard that comes into the NBA. So I'm not so upset about that. Offensively, he's very good. I think he's a long-term DeJounte Murray replacement. So I think even the future, he kind of builds in a safety net there. I think he can develop into an all-around offensive player, being able to score from all 3 levels, being able to pass the ball. Plus, I think he has a pretty good competitive drive to be a good defender. So I just think overall, Jeremiah Fears does have potential to really develop into a high-level starting guard in this league. But I do think early on he's probably going to struggle to make a huge impact because the guard room is pretty stacked. You have Jordan Poole, DeJounte Murray, and Jordan Hawkins, and I think that's a pretty damn stacked guard room. That's going to be very hard for a rookie to break into. Now, with it being the Pelicans, injuries will most likely be a big part of the season. So Jeremiah Fears could insert himself there, and I could even see him maybe eating into some of Jordan Hawkins' minutes, although I still think Hawkins has a role on this team. So I do think Fears, although he will develop long-term into a very good player, I'm not so sure about his immediate impact on the team year one. And then their second pick, Derek Queen, is the one I'm iffy about. They traded up to get him, which I don't love. I think they gave up too much to get a guy who is guaranteed, when fully healthy, to be a backup on this team. He's going to be behind Zion, obviously, no matter what. He's not nearly athletic enough to play small forward, and he's not big enough to play center. So he has to play power forward in a position where your best player on the team, who you just recommitted to, is going to be here long-term, hopefully. So you really drafted a basically career backup, but not even that. But Derek Queen, motor and athletic-wise, has pretty big questions, and is a pretty big question mark as an all-around player if he's ever going to get disciplined and develop. And then on top of that, his offensive game needs a lot of work. So I'm not even sure he would play above a guy like Carlo Matkovic or Sadiq Bey. And I think he would struggle to find playing time even if he was fully healthy because he is currently injured. But even if he wasn't injured, I think he would struggle to find playing time right away, and I'm not sure how his game even would translate to the NBA because defensively he could be a absolute disaster with how he's currently moving. So I do think Derek Queen is going to be a project and is at least a few years away from really making any major impact on the team. And then even lastly, a guy like Micah Peavy. I think Peavy is actually a very good pick for where we got him. He's a two-way guy who's going to be an absolute lockdown defender. He has good athleticism. He shot 40% from 3 in college, and if you watch him play, he could really shoot the 3. And I think he has a chance to develop into a 3-and-D type guy as he stands at 6'7". So he has the build you want, and you can never have enough 3-and-D type guys in the second round. And if you can get a second rounder who shot 40% from 3 while being a very good defender, who's also very athletic and big enough to guard 1 through 3, well, it's hard to ask for a much better pick than that in the second round. And although probably, like I said, probably not going to have an immediate impact, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get spot minutes. And Willie Green, when Herb Jones was a rookie, took a chance on Herb. Now, I'm not saying he's going to end up starting or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being in the rotation. So I think the most likely player to be the best rookie is Jeremiah Fears. I wouldn't be surprised if Micah Peavy is second, and I think Derek Queen has the most questionable path of ever becoming a huge piece to this team. So I would have Derek Queen as my least favorite pick in this draft, with Jeremiah Fears being my favorite and Peavy being my second favorite. And then even if you go into some of the undrafted guys, I like Hunter Dickinson. I think Hunter Dickinson's very solid. Now, will he play this year for the actual NBA team? Probably not, but I do think he could develop into maybe a backup or even starting level center in this league one day. I think he has a great offensive skill set, so I don't mind him there at all. Trey Alexander from last year, who's a two-way guy, I don't mind him, and we kind of picked him up in the offseason. But that's basically it for the entire draft class, because Trey Alexander wasn't even part of our actual, obviously, draft class, because he was last year, but still. So I do think overall this team had a pretty good haul, and I think long-term you at least got 2 guys, maybe 3, if Derek Queen develop, and I think Hunter Dickinson could even be a pretty good piece from an undrafted free agency standpoint. So I think overall the team got slightly better through this draft, but long-term wise, not really any immediate impact that I'm seeing unless injuries hit this team, which is a very big possibility because it is the New Orleans fucking Pelicans at the end of the day. But that's going to be it for this video. So comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you hate what I said? Do you love what I said? Comment all that below. Hit the like button, subscribe button. I don't give a fuck. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Bye.